Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming to you guys with a Pro Dota commentary. Today I'm going to continue the coverage for WDC World Dota Championship. And today I'm casting iG.Y versus LGD. Now this is from Group D, I believe. This originally was B-Balling's game. He claimed it, but apparently he didn't have time to do it, so I'm casting it for you guys. Of course, this is an AP remake, and CMO was picked before. So I'm going to let the game run for about a minute or so, and then pause, and then look at the items, talk about the game analysis, pick analysis, and all that stuff. So we have a lot of here running around. Let's actually introduce who's playing what. We have YYF playing the Lycanthrope, CH going to be on Clockwork, 830 on that Furion, Shuriken on that Lich, and Chuan on the Windrunner. Meanwhile, on the Scourge side, we have Xiao A on the Ancient Apparition, DD going to be played by Crystal Maiden. Or the other way around, DD going to be playing the Crystal Maiden, Yao on the Shaker, ZSMJ on the Obsidian Destroyer, and then we have DDC playing the Nerubian Weaver. So let's look at the hero synergy on the Sentinel first. To me, Sentinel pushes very well, they chase very well, and in terms of having heroes like that, it will really favor them in terms of having a run and gun gank. Run and gun game, and what I mean by that is you go for a lot of ganks early on. You go for small scale team fights, because if you look at their stuns, right, it's really low cooldown as well. Shacklesh has a fairly low cooldown, Sprout has a fairly low cooldown, and if the team fight draws out a little bit longer, you can use these spells multiple times and get off a fairly successful team fight. Of course, they have somewhat decent AoE. Of course, you have the Clock Hook in with the Cogs, and then you have the Force of Nature, Wrath of Nature, and then Chain Frost. But aside from that, they don't have many counter-pushing AoE. So iG.Y, if they want to be successful, they have to be on the offensive end most of the time, because they're not too good defensively, in my opinion. They don't have really, you know, spammable stuns that you use a lot. I mean, they have a Shaco Shot, but that's pretty much it. But on the offensive end, where you're kind of taking the fight whenever it's more favorable to you, then you know you could chase fairly well. Lycanthrope has 523 movement speed. We have the Windrunner, we have slows, we have a TP to chase as well. If you're running, that's a different situation. Sure, those spells are going to be still effective, but a lot of times, if you guys know what I mean, if you lose a team fight in a Dota, you run, but you also kind of lob stuns, you lob slows as you run. And if you look at Sprout, if you look at Nova, those are kind of not the spells that you want to turn around and lob back, because they will just kill you if you try to do something like that. So to me, iG.Y is a lot better offensively than defensively. And offensive capability, you have a lot of it. Of course, they pushes very well as well. Keep in mind that the Lycanthrope will give you plus damage for all of your heroes, and there's summons as well. So Furion summons will get plus damage, Lycanthrope summon will get a plus damage as well. They have somewhat nice global capability as well with the Clockwork and Furion. So they gank very well, they push very well, and they team fight decently, I want to say. So iG.Y, very offensive lineup. Let's see if they can be playing like that. LGD, way better in AoE teamfight, in my opinion. Of course, every one of their heroes have some AoE spell. Swarm, yes, in my opinion, counts as an AoE spell, because they give the whole team something to think about. Shaker, Echo Slam, Freezing Field, and Nova Blast, AA Blast, the Ice Vortex for the slow, of course, Sanity Eclipse from ZSMJ. So this team fight is made for, or this lineup is made for AoE team fight. But I'm a little bit worried about LGD lineup. Most AoE team fight also have somewhat of a tankier hero, and this tankier hero's role basically is, hey guys, jump on me, and when you do jump on me, my Shaker will bail me out, my Ancient Apparition will bail me out. To me, LGD doesn't have a hero like that. They don't really have a natural tankier hero that could do something like that. And ZSMJ might be playing the Sacrificial Lamb. He might just have to walk in, be on a little bit out of position on purpose, have the iG.Y team initiate on him, and then he's going to try to save himself with Astral Imprisonment, and then his AoE team fight will come in like that and help out. So, I guess, I mean, LGD does have a pretty good teamfight lineup, but I still favor iG.Y's offensively more capable lineup a little bit more. Now, in terms of looking at these two lineups together, I feel like ZSMJ's Destroyer is going to have a huge impact in this game. Not only will his orbs go through Frost Armor, so that Frost Armor is basically going to be meaningless to that ZSMJ's right clicks, but furthermore, He's also Obsidian Destroyer is also really good against Lycanthrope. When Lycanthrope runs in at you or your team, you either banish the Lycanthrope when he doesn't have the BKB, or when he does have the BKB, then you banish someone else, whoever he's focusing, for example. And that's gonna waste YYF a lot of BKB duration. A lot of times we see Obsidian Destroyer just popping that banish and then just kind of owning Lycanthropes in general like that. So also, of course, when the Clockwork hooks in and cocks someone, he can just get a Force Staff and Force Staff his teammates out, or Force Staff himself out, or just disrupt. And he has a lot of answer to what Sentinel's got. Of course, if you have a very timely disruption, you can just end the Chain Frost altogether when it's bouncing towards you. So yeah, ZSMG, the Obsidian Destroyer, have a lot of impact in this game, and it's up to him whether he's going to play it like that. Now, before I'm paused real fast, going to look at the items and then talk about the roles. Of course, we see Windrunner walking in the mid lane, and I really like this a lot. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of support Windrunners in the Chinese scene. LGD's been playing support Windrunner a lot, and it's glad to see that Windrunner is going to be playing a solo mid position. I really love her on that utility role, farming for a quick mecha, phase boot, and then Force Staff. And then you're pretty much done, and you go for a Hex if necessary. But Windrunner having the level and having the goal to do what she needs to do is also a good thing. Lycanthrope is going to be jungling here. You can see by the build here, Crawling Blade being picked up, 3 clarity, so a lot of mana regeneration to fuel all those wolves being charged up. You can see the Scourge End is going to be warding off this level 1 camp, and this ward is actually really big. Of course, it's going to slow down Lycan's farm a little bit, but if you look at this ward, it divides the jungle really well. Like, where is the Lycan going to go after he takes his camp? Well, he could go really here, but that's really a long journey from this camp, so he's going to waste a lot of time walking. And also, as a Lycanthrope, when you're walking, farming in your jungle like this, you could always be gank as well. So, and of course, Shaker might just go into lane and just harass him a little bit. He probably won't get a kill, but he's definitely going to slow down YYF's farm as well. So that's going to be a key thing. In terms of the laning here, it looks like we have a Crystal Maiden and the Obsidian Destroyer on the top lane here. And then we have Lich and I think Furion going to be only going to the top for the Sentinel. One last thing before I have him pause. Furion in the Chinese scene plays support. Yeah, he plays support. And not so much like he farms in the jungle, that type of support, as you see Furion microing his illusions, not illusions, his summons a little bit. Maybe he's trying to pull these creeps all the way to this tower and then just kind of trade the first wave, and that is actually going to benefit the Lich a lot, because Lich is going to hit level 2. Destroyer is not going to hit level 2 because Lich already denied 1 creep. He's going to deny 2nd creep very soon as well. So pretty nice move there, and also really nice observer ward here. You can see that it blocks off this camp, and this ward is really difficult to counter ward, because a lot of times when you counter ward on the Sentinel end, you probably guess here, or you probably guess here, and if you actually place those wards here, you're gonna miss this one. So this is some legit warding over here. Actually, if you push this ward maybe a little bit to the left, you could peer a little bit into the jungle as well, into the lane, excuse me, and right now it doesn't. Yeah, right now it doesn't, but no big deal. As you see Shaker roaming around to get a gank off, he's also looking for that YYF, and this ward is basically gonna scout him out. And Windrunner's got to be somewhat careful, because Kofi, Fissure, there we go. There's the nice Fissure block, and he's basically going to be ticked in. The creeps on support as well. Trying to walk into jungle here, and another block here, but I think he's going to go down. Oh, one more hit. He's going to salve up just fine. Nicely done. Very lucky by Tron there. The creeps and maybe a little bit of fog abuse in his favor, and right now we have but that was a really nice Fissure block, and that basically one-shot ate the lane, at least momentarily, until Windrunner maybe hits level 3 for a pretty nice shackle shot harass. And you can see that this Lycanthrope has to go into parts of the jungle that he may not want to go into, and right now Shaker is going to be in position to keep on harassing, because he knows exactly where that Lycanthrope is. So Lycanthrope only has 3 camps, one here, and the big camp, and these are really high level camps, and that is going to really slow down his farm. Shaker in position, maybe he's going to go for a Fissure steal. Indeed he does, and that's going to limit Lycanthrope's EXP gain, go gain even more so very nicely done. We're on the bot lane here. We have Weaver going to be farming against the Clockwork. Weaver should have the advantage for most of the part. He can actually go for a kill, so you can see that he's harassing the Clockwork quite well. Took a level of Germinate attack, and I wonder if he's going to take more levels of Swarm. Maybe he's going to take Swarm at 4 and 5. We'll have to wait and see. Swarm is actually what gives you the kill. Gemini attack plus Sakuchi is what harasses for you, but with the Swarm putting down with the minus armor and constant sight is what really nets you the advantage in terms of getting the kill. Looks like we're grabbing the runes a little bit. We have a lot of harassment being done on both sides. So far, not many kills being claimed though, but I don't want to miss too many kills. We do have Magic Bottle being picked up on the Ancient Apparition, as we see Shaker already, and again, in position to really keep this Lycanthrope down. I mean, Shaker is basically trading, every time he's trading one of his clarities for you know, limiting Lycan's farm, and I think it's pretty good. Of course, Shaker's keeping himself very low EXP, but if you're stealing neutrals away from the Lycanthrope, that's pretty good as well. Haven't taken a look on the top lane, but I do expect top lane doing fairly well. 40. It looks like they're gonna make a gank on the Lich. Crystal Maiden has Frostbite level 2, and they're gonna make a kill on that Lich. Where's the Nova? There's a Nova right now. Who's gonna pick up the kill? Looks like ZSMJ picked up the first kill. And you could expect his farm's going to go through the roof. Unfortunately for him right now, he's only got 3 creep kills. So Lich and Furion doing a successful job in terms of harassing back. But with Lich out of the situation for a little bit, and also he's going to be lasting like a champ, he's going to climb the creep kill fairly quickly. And, you know, a lot of times when you see your carry player, you know, really falling down in terms of early farm and stuff, you get a little bit worried. But ZSMG, I'm not too worried at all. I mean, many times we've seen in the past where the enemy team does a fairly good job in terms of keeping him under farmed for 10 minutes or so. I remember the game that he farmed 720 creep kills. 10 minutes in, he had like 10 creep kills. And he just went godlike mode after that. So ZSMJ getting a little bit under farm in the early stage of the game, not too worried about. He's going to find his farm somewhere. As he did, he just find the first spot right there. So that's going to even his farm a little bit. Ancient Aberration is going to pick up an invisibility room. He's going to use it immediately for a little bit of mana regen. Go back to mid lane and go for a little bit of rune control. Maybe he's going to wait for the Shaker to come in. Indeed, he will. A single cold feet plus Fissure combo come in from really afar. That is going to get the stun off against Tron. And Tron, right now, he senses it as well because he realized that the rune has been picked up on the top lane. So he knows that there's an invisible Ancient Aberration lurking nearby. We have a teleportation going on the bot lane here. They're going to go for the Weaver, but I think it's going to be difficult. I'm not too sure what exactly Furion's thinking. We have a level 6 Weaver. I'm pretty sure he's going to pick up the time lapse. And I do believe Clock did just die. Yeah, Clock did die. And probably he did have a level of Swarm. And then a couple of right clicks after Sakuchi Chase is going to be enough. And that's exactly what I mean by Weaver. Going to have the advantage throughout mostly the laning phase against the Clockwork. Clockwork can't really do too much. Clockwork's going to get the EXP. And he's going to get a little bit of farm. But he's not going to keep Weaver from farming. We go to mid lane here. We have a lot of harassment being thrown off on both sides here. We're pushing the wave and basically farming exclusively using that power shot. I've been seeing her use power shot a lot to get those farm. Meanwhile, Ancient Aberration just really controlling the lane through just a last hit. Got 22 creep kills, 10 denies. So in my opinion, he's really out-controlling, out-laning Tron's farm. And Tron's having a tough time. That Ancient Aberration getting the assist gank from the Shaker was pretty big as well. We do have a teleportation going in. It looks like AM might be in a little bit of trouble. Indeed, he will. Let's see if Sprout, Shackle Shot. Where's the Shackle Shot? Shackle Shot is going to hit. Power Shot's going to hit as well. Ancient Aberration comes in right now with AA Blast. They might get the kill. Indeed, they will get the kill. Level up on the Shaker, but looks like Ancient Aberration is going to go down as well. I was hoping that the Ancient Aberration would level up as well, so he would, you know, get a little bit more bonus HP for that engagement, but good supports coming in from LGD. This is a mark of a good Chinese team. I mean, as soon as Ancient Aberration gets ganked, immediate teleportation from Shaker, has the mana for Fissure. Indeed, they got a return kill. So even though Ancient Aberration went down, he got the level, he got the gold, and that's all you could really ask for. Looks like Women are trying to get the rune for the top lane. Unfortunately, not going to be there. And looks like Shaker immediately respawning and then going to grab the illusion rune for himself on the bot lane. So again, really good map awareness being showcased by both teams here. It looks like we have a teleportation coming in. Crystal Maiden does have a Smoke of the Sea. Smoke of the Sea is going to get dispelled. And now there's a ward being dropped down right now. Let's see if Crystal Maiden is going to fight. She will. Yes, Ancient Aberration Ice Blast is going to hit on the... No, it misses. Wow. But looks like they are going to get the kill against the Furion for sure. Let's see who's going to pick up the kill. Shao 8 does with that Shatter. Nicely done by LG, leading 1-4. And this is kind of what Scourge you need to do, because to me, Sentinel is going to be a superior offensive team in the mid stage of the game. So they got to buffer themselves, get themselves as much advantage as they can. Maybe even go for a tower push or two right now and try to get themselves a little bit ahead in terms of goal. Get those 4 staff if necessary. As we see a nice Shackle Shot on the bot lane here. I think the clock hook-in was used as well. No, it wasn't. He just walked in here, battery assault, nice cog, or nice Shackle Shot being claimed by the Windrunner. Going to grab themselves a kill. So Tron, despite going down the mid lane there, grabbed himself on the bot kill against the Weaver, and they're definitely a little bit more on that. Meanwhile, we have engagement going to the top lane. They're going to focus on the wow, Sandy Eclipse, Ancient Aberration Ice Blast going to get the kill. Looks like we have imprisonment going on the Lich. Can they get the kill though? I think CM spells are cooling down, but she only has 1 left. Probably not enough mana to really cast all her stuff, so it's going to turn back. They got themselves a kill. Crystal Maiden hits level 6. Nova level 3. Let me see what Crystal Maiden's leveling. Is she leveling? Or I don't think she is. Level 2 Brilliance or a level 3 Frostbite, and that's actually really curious. Generally, you want to level up Nova because Nova is an AoE spell, as we see another kill being claimed, solo kill being claimed by DDC. Grabbing that one against Clockwork. Looks like we have teleportation going down. Normally you pick Nova because it's AoE. It's a really nice damaging spell. But I think I could see why they want to pick Freeze Bite in this game. Couple of reasons. Of course, Cold Feet combos really well with Freeze Bite. You can still run out of Nova if you have fast enough movement speed. And guess what? Sentinel does. They have Windrunner, they have Lycanthrope. You can just run out of Freeze Bite tick range fairly easily if you have a very mobile lineup like Sentinel does. So Nova's not going to help too much. On the other hand, Freeze Bite will, because it doesn't matter if you have 522 movement speed, you will just get kept in place by a Freeze Bite, whereas Nova cannot do that. So against a very mobile lineup of the Scourge, of the Sentinel, Freeze Bite is a better spell, and I definitely agree with that. Also, they have an Ancient Aberration Ice Blast they could combo with, and of course, the longer you keep them in the exact same position they were with the Freeze Bite, the higher chance that you're going to hit that Ancient Aberration Ice Blast. So it makes sense that he's going for Frostbite instead of Nova, and this is a good example of, you know, even with Crystal Maiden, with someone that a lot of times you just max Nova or you max Aura, sometimes it's better to max Bite. So good to show off the versatility of Crystal Maiden, being well handled by DD, I believe. Yes, DD indeed. Looks like level 6 already. Level 3 Bite, level 2 Aura, and level 1 Nova, skipping the Crystal Maiden ult altogether. Crystal Maiden ult, sometimes you skip it, sometimes you don't. In this lineup, I think it's okay you skip it because there's, you know, a fairly nice amount of stuns, and probably you could better off use your mana other ways, because Crystal Maiden ult does take quite a bit of mana intensive spell. So on the bot lane here, this is what we always see Chinese team to do. You send the Furion to kind of go roam and support in the early outside of the game. After the Clockwork gets enough level, he's going to just leave the lane altogether and give the lane back to the Prophet to get a quick level 6, maybe level 7 or 8 or 9. It looks like they now the Furion at level 6 and the Clockwork at level 6 and 7, they could actually go for a gank, and let's see if that's going to be the case. Sentinel is actually just being extremely defensive as we see a gank attempt, and we will get a kill for sure. Ancient Aberration, there's a swarm, a couple of right clicks are definitely going to get killed. I think Weaver's going to grab that one. Nope. No, Weaver did grab that one, so nicely done there. So again, really good ganking potential coming from the Scourge side. You can see that they come in from a really long range, but it looks like Sentinel is going to try to transition into a push themselves. Lycanthrope in position, Furion in position. They definitely want to trade this tower, but it looks like Ancient Aberration Ice Blast is going to really mitigate that. Where's the Glyph? They really need to plop the Glyph right now. Shaker need to come in position as well. Here comes the Ancient Aberration. You got to be very careful. Don't want to Shackle Shot. There's an entire force behind you. It looks like the Scourge team is going to get completely overpowered this mid lane. There's a Kofi being dropped right now. Can they get... No, Shackle Shot's going to hit the tree, and this is exactly what I mean. You got to be somewhat careful. And nice Fissure, and that's going to save him. Superb Fissure. It looks like the Lycanthrope is going to still chase. Going to drop off the Kofi, trying to do as much damage as possible. Looks like Lycanthrope is going to run out just fine. Windrunner is going to be fine as well. Looks like the tower did get successful denied. Can they turn around against the Furion, though, is the question. We do have Lycanthrope coming in from the right side. I don't think he has enough level HP to come in the flank. But that's really as much as Scourge could ask for. They got a tower deny. They lost the Ancient Aberration, but really, that's really all you can ask for. That was a really nice game. As we see, Furion gonna come in 40. Crystal Maiden gonna take a rocket to her face as well. Power Shot is gonna miss, and that is gonna be end of that engagement. Whew, that was really aggressive from the Sentinel side, and that's exactly what they need to do. Sentinel is a very aggressive lineup. You can see that they can basically bulldoze their way past their tower. It doesn't matter if you have a Shaker. It doesn't matter if they took an Ancient Aberration and blasted the face. They are just so strong in this stage of the game that they just could do more of this. As we see engagement in the jungle here, it looks like we have Weaver gonna just Sakuchi out. He doesn't really want to keep fighting, or maybe he wants to. Lycanthrope fairly low in terms of HP, but you really don't want to chance it. But yes, man, Yao right now is dropping off some beautiful Fissure. There was a really nice Fissure on the first gank on the Windrunner on the mid lane. Really nice Fissure, just trying to save his Ancient Aberration. Ultimately, it wasn't enough, but really it kept Ancient Aberration alive for a long time so that the other heroes wouldn't get, the Sentinel team wouldn't get any more kills beyond the Ancient Aberration kill. So really beautiful play from Shaker, beautiful Fissure placement. Let's see how his game is going to be improving. Because with the Shaker, you know, you could always have a good laning phase and then have a really bad mid-game phase. Shaker, you gotta find yourself a little bit of farm, go for the arcane boots, go for the blink dagger, and then just, you know, do a lot of work then. But looks like they're giving a lot of farm to the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden hitting level 7. Actually, gonna go back to Crystal Nova too. This is actually very curious. Keeping that bite at level 3. And then go for a little bit more AoE range. Maybe they feel like, well, actually, Sentinel pushes really hard. So maybe we're gonna go for... maybe we need to go for a little bit more AoE to kill down those Furion and kill down those Wolves. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why he's leveling that Nova. But, we'll see. We're on the bot lane here. We have DDC going to be soloing laning against the Lycanthrope. Lycanthrope level 9. He's at 700 HP. We have a single teleportation coming in. That the Ancient Aberration Ice Blast. I don't think they killed YYF because he just moves so quickly. He has too much HP. You got to keep in mind that when he turns into wolf form, he gets bonus HP as well. So it's going to be difficult to get a kill against the Lycanthrope. And I think this teleportation might have been a pretty bad move because, you know, wouldn't have done too much. Looks like the Ancient Aberration is going to go for the Force Staff, and of course that is a good item build. Of course, especially if you're going against Clockwork. Clockwork is going to cog your teammates and you're going to be in trouble. So Force Staff is going to be a necessary item for him to pick up. I think ZSMJ might be going for Force Staff. No, he's going for Mecha first, and then he's going to go for Force Staff. Mecha first on Destroyer is actually a fairly decent item. It gives him a lot more survivability. If you pop your Mecha, if you want to do a comparison, right? If you pop your Mecha on Destroyer, it is significantly, like, way better than a Vanguard in terms of the bonus it gives you, in terms of the HP it gives you. It just, you know, as a Destroyer carrying the Mecha, you always have a worry. Like, are you gonna survive long enough to pop that Mecha? Because they could actually chain stun you to death. Against the Sentinel lineup, it's actually fairly easy to pop the Mecha because they don't have too many long duration of stun. But if you get Shackle Shot to another hero, that's a different story altogether. But yeah, in this case here, I do believe that the Mecha here is a pretty decent item for the Destroyer. Looks like Prophet is going back to max a couple of levels on that teleportation, going for a little bit more ganks. Women going on the bot lane is going to find herself an invisibility, regeneration. Have face boot finish. I'm wondering if she's going to be the one getting the Mecha or if Prophet is going to be the one getting the Mecha. It looks like Prophet just have earn right now. Not too decent farm, but that's always how the Chinese Furions play. No farm way in the beginning, and then he's going to finish the game with Hex. That's progressively he's going to get more farm, because later on in the game, what you can call it, positioning wise, Furion becomes more and more important as a hero. A lot of times in Chinese pushing games where you have one big push going in the mid lane, right? Like, let's say Sentinel is pushing or let's say Scourge is pushing the Sentinel in the mid lane. What Furion loves to do is like, okay, we'll keep defending mid, but I'll Wrath of Nature and push top, Wrath of Nature and push bot. I'll port down here and get a TP scroll, and then I'm gonna keep pushing here, keep pushing. So yeah, you're pushing my mid lane, but I'm pushing your bot. So you want to trade towers? You want to trade racks? Because as a Furion, you always have that threat. And if the Scourge commit, then, you know, Sentinel has a choice. Okay, we could have our Furion keep pushing, or we could have our Furion just TP scroll back and join the fight. In either case, what I'm trying to say here is what Furion allow you to do, especially in a Chinese game, is just global dominate in terms of creep equilibrium, global dominate positioning wise. And creep positioning is one huge aspect that is evident in many Chinese games that I personally don't see as evident in any other region, Southern East Asian games, European games. And that's why Furion is getting more and more played in the Chinese scene as a pusher, as a position hero, and not so much as a ganker. A lot of times when we see in European play, we see, you know, Midas first, Dagon first, but this Furion a little bit differently. Not to say which style is better, but this style is definitely more suitable to a Chinese game where, you know, farming is a bigger deal. You know, tower pushes, tower defense is a bigger deal. As we see, it looks like we have maybe a small push coming on the bot lane. We have 3 heroes on the Scourge side. ZSMJ and the Weaver both on the bot lane. Looks like we have a single teleportation coming in. That is the Lich with the Chain Frost online. He should be picking Frost Armor right about now because really need the extra survivability against the Weaver. Not so much against the Destroyer, because Destroyer doesn't really care about your orbs, but doesn't care about your armor. Looks like we have Shackle Shot. It's gonna barely whiff. Ooh, DDC barely make it out alive, but here comes everyone else, and he's gonna be in complete trouble. Where's the hook in? There's a hook in right now. He does Sakuchi, but he's still kept in position. I don't think he has time lapse come hop off the swarm. Needs a Sakuchi, He does Sakuchi. No dust. Wow, barely made it out alive. But you gotta keep in mind that there's a teleportation, there's a rocket. So right now he's Sakuchiing all the way back to base, and hopefully he's gonna make it, or maybe he's gonna try to juke a little bit. You got Prophet doing that ever so annoying thing, pushing that tower on the top lane. He's going to draw a teleportation scroll from the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden now finding herself maxing that Nova to be a pretty good position as she's trying to, ooh, nice force staff up the hill. But it looks like Furion's still giving a chase. She's going to, yeah, it's going to pour in right now. There's a Sprout, and he's going to be in complete trouble. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast is going to hit on the Furion. Furion's going to go down regardless. Rockets just to make sure they get the kill. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, we have Lycanthrope giving the push. It looks like we have Mecha being popular right now against the Lich. No, Lich going to be in trouble. Are they going to give chase? This is a question. Chain Frost is going to be dropped on ZSMJ. ZSMJ is going to be fine. No, actually, really lucky bounces. And we have ZSMJ really low, but looks like Weaver's going to get the kill immediately. It looks like CH grabbed the kill with a rocket on ZSMJ as well. Weaver trying to do some damage against Lycanthrope. Not enough damage being outputted. Again, Sentinel showing that they could bulldoze over the Scourge. Like, they're just pushing against a tower with Mecha. They're pushing against 2 carries on Scourge, and they don't even care. Like, they are just basically A-clicking in, really good positioning, really good map awareness by this Clockwork, you know, issuing rockets to a gank here, issuing to a rocket here. A lot of Clockwork player, a lot more amateur Clockwork player, basically just use the rocket to farm. And this is the way to play Clockwork. You play it so aggressively to kind of complement your team wherever they need to be, wherever they need an extra nuke, you just send your rocket there. And, you know, just keep harassing, keeping everyone back, and slowly gain yourself map control. So iG.Y, despite having a fairly poor start, it is 1-4. They have evened up a little bit. Even though despite they're down by 3 kills, I feel like they are in the more advantageous position. And you could tell because they keep all 3 of their exterior towers alive. Meanwhile, it looks like Scourge has lost all 3 of their tier 1 towers. So despite Scourge having more kills, Sentinel is the one that's having more gold. And gold, in my opinion, is a little bit more important in this stage of the game. EXP... I guess it's fairly decent because if you look at the Scourge side, they are leading in terms of EXP. 11, 8, 6, 11, 13. The 3 farmers on Scourge vastly out farming the out leveling, excuse me, the Sentinels. Oh, actually, it's pretty even. 12, 12, and 10. I say it's decent, but the 2 supports right on the Sentinel and is vastly out leveling the Scourge supports. Shager's really low in terms of level, and that's kind of what I expect. Has been roaming really much in the early outside of the game, keeping the Lycanthrope down. I say he did an okay job in terms of keeping the Lycanthrope down, but it's not really nearly enough to accomplish anything. Because if you look at the Lycanthrope right now, 19 minutes in, 20 minutes in, he's got Power Treads, he got Medallion Courage, he got Vlad's Finish, he's working on the BKB. This is actually a fairly decent farm for Lycanthrope. I'm sure the 3 towers definitely had some effect in that. And right now, Sentinel starting to do a little bit of chokehold with their map control. You can see that Equilibrium being pressured on both sides. And now we have a gank attempt on that Weaver. We have a Furion. Is it going to TP in? Nope. Looks like he is not going to do so. Just threatening for it. Do we have any dust is the question. Looks like we don't have any dust so far. We have a Bracer and also a Cloak. We have Ancient Aberration Ice Blast. It's going to hit on the bot lane. They're going to chase on the Clockwork. Clockwork half HP. Is he going to cog? That's the question right now. Half HP, a quarter HP. He's going to go down for sure. Weaver, a couple more right clicks. Yes, he is going to go down. Nicely done. We have a dominating streak being picked up on DDC. And that is the advantage you have as an Ancient Aberration Ice Blast. You set up ganks afar, you get your kills on that carry. It looks like they might even get another kill on the Lycanthrope. Nope. Crystal Maiden thought about it, but really don't want to come in. A little bit dangerous to gank Lycanthrope when you're just a Crystal Maiden, but looks like they might be going right now. There's a Nova. Where's a bite? Where's a bite? There's a bite. Here comes a really long range swarm. They're going for this for the Lycanthrope. He doesn't have his ultimate form right now. Does he have a Sprout? You know, he's gonna just TP out. Nothing he could do. Looks like, oh, Ancient Aberration Ice Blast is gonna graze the Prophet, and that's not gonna be enough to really develop into anything. Crystal Maiden fighting herself a little bit more farm, as we see. Ooh, Focus Fire being leveled up to level 2. What level is like? Okay, then she's level 13 as well. I thought she was like level 11 or 9 or something like that. As we see, Fissure is going to be easy. Oh, wrong side. Wrong side. Let's see if ZSMJ. Sanity Eclipse. No. Looks like wow. And that's kind of what I mean. If you don't pop off the mecha, you're basically very weak. But if you pop off the mecha, it's a very decent item. Unfortunately, ZSMJ, I'm not too sure whether he has Sanity Eclipse. Looks like he did. I think he definitely should have used it. But maybe he thought he was going to get the kills for sure. But CH says nope. Gonna jump in from far, save my teammate, get a kill on the enemy carrier. Very nicely done there. Meanwhile, looking at mid lane here, we have Invisible. Ooh, looks like Lycanthrope gonna go for the kill on the Crystal Maiden. Oh, Crystal Maiden gonna go down for sure. They really wanted to gank on the mid lane. Unfortunately, we had a really smart popping of the Lycanthrope wolf form. And basically that what allowed him to do is put his 2 wolves on 522 movement speed, kept his hero back just in case anything was happening, used the Metallic Courage debuff on the Crystal Maiden, and basically had the 2 wolves with a Pharaoh Impulse bonus, with the Lycanthrope 522 movement speed bonus, just basically chop the head off of Crystal Maiden. Looks like we have another gank on the bot lane right now. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast is going to miss, and that is actually going to be huge. Weaver wouldn't have been able to keep diving if the Ancient Aberration Ice Blast would have hit the Lycanthrope. He's going to go down for sure. Looks like we have another gank attempt on the bot lane. His Shackle Shot's going to hit for sure. Nicely done by DDC, kind of move away from the jungle, but he's going to run into so much stuff. Wow, and look at the relentless amount of ganks coming in from the Sentinel side. Clockwork chasing, Furion TPing with the dust. And again, iG.Y showing that they know exactly what to do with this lineup. Play aggressive. And the kill count is evening up as we see Sentinel pulling a little bit further and further ahead. To me, even if the score was 5-8, like I pointed out earlier, Sentinel was ahead because they were up 3 towers. Now they're evening the kill counts as well, still keeping their tower advantage. And really, it's not really looking too good for Scourge. Scourge really need to play maybe 25 more minutes in this game if they want to win, because it doesn't look good right now, because they're really being out farmed. Lycanthrope's farm is kind of unchecked right now. Windrunner's farm is really crazy as well. Let's do a quick farm check. We have 44 creep kills on the Lycanthrope, but 89 neutral kills. That puts them, I say, around 120, maybe a little bit less, but a lot of creep kills. CH got 66 despite roaming fairly aggressively. We have Prophet picking up 40 and also 31 neutrals as well. Lich doesn't have too much, 31, but he's got level 10. Good level for him. After level 11, he's basically pretty much done. Windrunner's only got 66 creep kill. But again, he's been in a lot of fight. 3-0 and 3. Really good job. We have a 107 creep kills on Ancient Aberration. Nicely farmed in 24 minutes. A little bit under 5, but that's okay. 103 on ZSMJ. That's actually really low farm for a destroyer who has massive amount of damage, but he's been dying a couple of times, 2 times to be exactly, and he doesn't have exactly the best he's been ganked, so really you can't ask for too much. And also in the early outset of farm, he's been kept down a little bit, but again, I'm not too worried about ZSMJ because he will find some farm somewhere. Don't worry about him. Of course, we have Weaver, have 111 farm as well. He's got 5, 2, and 0. So Weaver is actually farming a lot better than I would give him credit for, because he was on the bot lane. He was against the safe lane of the Sentinel, but he farmed really nicely. And it looks like he's going to try to get a little bit of jungle farm as well. Lycanthrope, really nice. I really love to see Lycan players do this, like just scout with the Lycan wolves. And sometimes, especially when you're hitting like level 13, 14, 15, and you don't really need your 2 wolves, to be honest, in the jungle. If you have enough APM, and I'm sure YYF does, he's just basically sending Lycan farm wolves to scout a little bit. And is this scouting going to turn around the game? Definitely not. But it just provides you a little bit more advantage, a little bit more scouting advantage to check out, hey, you know what? I see Weaver's been holding on to his goal for a long time. I see Shaker maybe getting arcane boots. He's really close to the dagger. Those are kind of the intrinsic advantage that you get. It's basically a free ward that you could just micro around. And good to see that YYF is doing that. Oh, except he's not microing it, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. Weaver farming in the mid lane. Let's see how she's doing on the go. That's 2600 go, 2600 go in the bank. So gonna go for that relic after a Vanguard. Pretty decent choice. A Vanguard is basically picked up just for that Lycanthrope, and also, I mean, the Lycanthrope wolves do a little bit of right click damage, and you could block a lot of that with the Vanguard, of course. If the treants, the small treants ever attack you, gonna block a little bit of nice damage as well. So we see a gank attempt on that Furion on the top lane. I don't think they know where that Furion is, but it looks like ZSMJ might have a hunch. Nope, they're gonna turn around that Furion's life flash before his eye. They're gonna find the Lycanthrope. Lycanthrope does see the Ancient Aberration, and they do know there's a smoke gang coming away. And Ancient Aberration gotta be very careful. It's a half HP Swarm's gonna hit 2 hero. It looks like Lycanthrope uses Wolf Form, and guess what? That's exactly what I mean. You pop off. Oh, where's the fissure? Where's the fissure? No fissure right now. BKB being popped. Nicely done. Chain Frost bouncing left and right. 2 kills going to Shergan right off the bat. Weaver's got to get away. Indeed, he will make it out alive, but ZSMJ really out of position. He's going to TP out as well. Can he? He does. Whew. Scourge had the right idea. What they were basically waiting for is everyone clump around the Shaker. Not the Shaker, the Lycanthrope. And then as soon as he come back out of the prison, get a fissure on him immediately, get an Ice Blast on him, just chain stun him down to death. Unfortunately, Lycanthrope just spam his BKB. and just said low, and then there was a really good chain frost, there was a really cooking, disrupting the shaker, and it looks like they're not gonna get this. They might get this Roshan Scourge in position. Looks like ZSMJ trying to attack into the Rosh area. They're gonna destroy all these illusions fairly easily. You have a lot of teleportation coming in, and Weaver gonna basically single-handedly disrupt everyone. But guess what? Furion could be teleporting to the top to push the tower. Looks like Furion might be teleporting to bot to push the tower. Yep, looks like that's going to be the case, but gotta be somewhat worried as we see Crystal Maiden and then Weaver also in position. Maybe they're going to transition to a bot push. And let's see if the Scourge have what it takes to defend this. I don't think so, because again, Santa resemble a bulldozer, and they could just completely overrun you. Yeah, they're going to just push the bot a little bit with the treants blocking away, and they are going to go for the Roche area. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast is going to come in, and it's going to hit everyone low. Wrath of Nature comes in as well to get a little bit AoE damage, but looks like Lycanthrope, again, basically overpowering the Scourge and just go for that, and go for the Roche. Lycanthrope got that Roche, and not looking too good for the Scourge. I think I said that already. Force Staff is completed on Ancient Apparition. Going to be going for Hex next. Let's see how Shaker's doing. Shaker's got no gold, I presume. Yeah, 500 gold in the bank. Just saving for Bracer at this point. Maybe he's going to go for a Django, but really not too sure that's going to be enough. ZSMJ, Data, Mecha, and Force Staff finished. Let's see if he's going to be going for BKB or Hex. In either case, both the items would be really, really helpful for his teammates. As we see a little bit of engagement in the jungle here. Wimrunner might be a little bit out of position. Weaver doing a little bit of damage. I don't think the Sentinel has a gem yet. It would be really nice if they do have a gem. Looks like DDC trying to get a solo kill against the Clockwork. I'm not too sure whether he can, but looks like we have a lot of teleportation coming in. That's the Furion right now. Crystal Maiden really, really low. There's a Sprout. Oh, nice Force Staff out, but a little bit wrong direction. Let's see if the Power Shot's going to claim the kill. Wimrunner definitely going to get killed. Yeah, Wimrunner's going to find her, and she's going to go down with the Wrath of Nature. Wimrunner's going to be a little bit in trouble. Shaker Fissure going to hit. The Kofi's going to take in. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast is going to be there as well. Not enough damage to kill her, though. Yeah, she does still have a healthy amount of HP. It's a 4v5 exchange right now. Ooh, as we see, ZSMJ finding himself 100 gold. And that Necro book was Profits or YYF's? I think it was Profits. Yep, Profits Necro book. Necro book's pretty good choice, especially if the How bonuses is going to be there, if the Vlad bonus is going to be there. I mean, since you're playing a summoning strat already, since the Scourge is so good in terms of having AoE, if they ever kill the blue one, they are absolutely screwed. Of course, extra mobility in terms of endurance aura, extra damage in terms of Mana Bird, always nice. So a really nice addition to the Sentinel lineup. Of course, it gives you good stats on the Furion as well. Give them some necessary strength and also some intelligence to work with as well. And Sentinel not giving up those pressure. They're still pushing in the mid lane, and again, this is exactly how they should play this lineup. Shackle Shot's gonna miss, but Power Shot's gonna bring him really low. Another tower being claimed up by the Sentinel, and right now we have a single tower left for the Scourge team, and it's really starting to look like a chokehold being claimed by Sentinel. Don't get me wrong, I feel like LGD's, they're playing decently, but they're just getting really outplayed by iG.Y. LGD is playing well in my opinion. In fact, they've been ganking really well. You see that DDC is farming really well despite being all the pressure upon. Like they have 3 guys over 100 farm. That's actually pretty decent. In fact, they have 3 guys over 4 creep kills a minute. So the farm distribution is pretty decent. It's just they can't keep their towers alive, and maybe another way to put this, the farm distribution is decent, but that's actually might be a bad thing because they don't have a single hero that's strong enough to withstand the push of the Scourge. Like if you have a really farmed up Destroyer where you could Hex and immediately 3-shot someone, or if you have a really farmed up Weaver, you could basically go in and initiate a team fight. Maybe that's what they need, but they have 3 really farm guys, and generally that means it's really good, but in this case it's not working too well for them. That's a really odd way to look about it, but here we go. We have the Scourge team. Did I say they have 1 extra tower left? I mean 2 left. Evidently they have the pop and bot left. Furion doing a little bit of pushing on the top lane here. Looks like Weaver going to be trying to be pushing on the mid lane, but this is the annoying part of Furion. It's going to be difficult. But looks like he's going to do so right now. So we see the Sentinel. Ooh, Shackle Shot's going to hit 2 support right now. Lycanthrope going to pop the BKB. There's a hook in right now. Where's the Disrupt? There's a Force Staff out, and that is an issue. Looks like we have another Force Staff out from ZSMJ. He could self-disrupt, and Chain Frost is going to bounce. He really needed to disrupt. Shaker drops all his spells, but Chain Frost bouncing completely non-stop. Ancient Apparition is going to be there. Where's the Weaver, though? Weaver going to come in. Let's see how well he's going to clean up Shaker. Wow, nice fissure. Going to keep him very, very low. He's going to make it out alive, but Crystal Maiden walks in right now. He pops out the one, got gotta be fairly careful. Where's the Weaver though? And Weaver in the back line trying to chase off people. I don't think he does enough damage. Looks like we have a teleportation now. Tower did eventually go down. Let's see how many kills he's gonna get. I'm claiming he might actually get the Lich killed. Lich is gonna TP out. Oh, Lich is gonna make it out alive. Nicely done by the Sentinel. Got themselves, you know, I think they dived definitely a little bit too much, but they definitely got 2 kills. They got a tower. The Weaver wasn't able to get any tower. The Weaver wasn't able to get the mid tower either. He was trying to push that one down. So really, really nice control by iG.Y. Not only are they playing aggressive, but they are playing smart as well. A lot of times we see teams just dive. Oh, dive in here, and they just lose 5 kills. And that's the way to throw away your advantage. But right now, iG.Y controlling the fight really well. They're going to dive and keep diving until they say, oh, we need to TP out. Weaver not going to give him any kills. And indeed, Weaver got 0 kill in that engagement. Tower was picked up by Sentinel as well. And it looks like Sentinel right back under pressure. They're like, you know what? We just got bought. Scourge still really trying to push out on the other lanes. But we're going to go back for the top tower as well. iG.Y showing how to play pressure. I mean, and this is actually pretty big because we don't generally see Chinese teams play this aggressive. This game showcasing that they definitely can play this aggressive, and they will if they find a lineup to do it against. As you see, Shergan level 13 got the drum finish showing for the 4-staff. Necro 3 finish on the Prophet. Of course, Lycanthrope going for the AC, going to help out his tanking potential, also going to help out his pushing as well. Clockwork does have a gem. Looks like we have a Sprout. Ooh, nice. Gonna Shaco, no Shaco just yet. Hook in, and that's going to be done. And again, unfortunately, Weaver, he was really, really close to that Radiance, and they might just get Rax right now with the Weaver down. Weaver's the only really big piece of source of damage. Of course, they do have ZSMJ. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the tanking potential to really stand in position. Lycanthrope running turn on BKB, and that's going to disrupt everyone. As we see Crystal Maiden, Ancient Aberration, and Shaker. Ancient Aberration, Ice Blast is going to hit, and that's going to really kill a lot of creeps. So it looks like these guys with a lot of HP, they don't really care at this point. They're going to just stand right in and going to right-click the Rax. It looks like Lycanthrope might be a little bit troubled. They got to turn back just right now. There's a single disrupt on Clockwork. They're not going to go on him right now. They're trying to just delay as much as possible. Wait for the 30 seconds or so for that Weaver to come back, but I don't think they can. There's a fissure. Oh, actually, they might get a kill. The BKB is popped right now. Lycan Wolf turns in. Oh my God, Chain Frost. It's going to be too much. We have a 4-staff out, another 4-staff out. Self-destruct. There's a self-destruct. Keeping himself alive. Tower still alive at this point. LGD nicely defended. Looks like Lycan, they're still going for the kill, and that might be a little bit too much. Tower did get destroyed by Tron right now, but he's definitely going to go down. Oh, disrupt. Right-click. Echo Slam being dropped right now. Looks like Lycanthrope is going to go down. Nicely done, and they're going to get a disrupt on. Ooh, double 4-staff. Lich is going to be dead. No more Chain Frost to help him out. Nova's going to be dropped. Bite's going to be dropped. Let's see who's going to pick up this kill. Looks like Yao steals that one. I'm not too sure whether that's a good choice, but maybe he's really close to his Arcane or Blink Dagger. Is 1800. Oh, that was a good choice. LGD on the verge of comeback. Maybe. I don't know. I definitely think that iG.Y might have been a little bit too over aggressive, especially with YYF's Lycan control. He definitely took a little bit more pot shot. Really, I mean, that's why Ancient Aberration and Shaker was picked so much together as a pair, because you can see that in that engagement, just they really combo well. I mean, right off the bat in like 2 minutes in the game, you saw Cold Feet plus Fissure is just ridiculous. And I mean, we've been seeing this over and over again. Cold Feet plus Fissure, Cold Feet plus Ice Blast. It just basically sets the Ancient Aberration up very easily. And to me, that was what successfully allowed them to defend. Shaker was kind of MVP in that last fight. He's going to work for a Blink Dagger right now. And once he does finish the Blink Dagger, it doesn't mean that they're going to win the game, but it's going to give him a really big advantage. But Varian says, oh, Varian. Oh. Shaker's going to come in here and be like, what? What just happened here? Did I just fissure this? Oh, that's a little bit sad. It's like, oh, Varian might be going for a solo kill. That's a little bit bold, but looks like he is going to go for it right now. There's a Clockwork Rocket. There's a Sprout. Necro. Oh! But it looks like a Clock Cooking is going to be there. Did he buy the Blink Dagger? He did buy the Blink Dagger. So that's good. That's good. So Sentinel really went for a big gank, and they did get the big gank off. Unfortunately, Blink Dagger was already completed. Looks like he's going to transition to a mid gank and mid push. Weaver cannot be picked off once again. He does have the Radiance finish at this point. He really needs to buy back. ZSMJ does have enough to finish the Hex, but I think he's really saving for buyback as well. No, he's sending the Crow and trying to grab the Hex before the team fight starts. And this is a really bold move from LGD. They have no buyback on any of their carry heroes. If they lose this fight, this game is over. Because you could bet money on that Lycanthrope and Furion could push down 2 racks in the span of this revival time. Is he buying the Hex? Is he buying the Hex? Where the hell's the bird? The bird's like, oh man! Oh shoot! Man, this bird about to go extinct right now. Someone might run like it would be funny if Ogre just runs over and gets a kill. But oh, there's double damage rune. Is he really gonna buy it? No, he's gonna walk here and buy it himself. I was gonna say you're gonna put like 3,000 gold worth of item on a 1 HP Crow, but nope. Gonna be there. There's a Hex finish, and right now, if Scourge would really love to have the time to farm for buyback. If they farm for the buyback, actually they're in a pretty decent position, to be honest. But it's gonna be difficult to find a room to farm A, and B to not get ganked. Because you gotta keep in mind, this is what Furion also does best: global presence. And oh, Furion's gotta be somewhat careful. He's gonna just TP out immediately, and in fact, he will do so. We've realized that he can't really get the kill, so he's gonna just back off. Yeah, so you gotta keep in mind, the Sentinel team really good at ganking. You saw Shaker was just jungling right there. Immediately they sent Clockwork top, they sent Furion top, and they could easily grab the kills. Sentinel having a pretty decent map control, as we see a couple TPs right now smoked up, trying to find something happening. Roshan is back, and looks like both teams are scouting back and forth. Lycanthrope, Wolves scouting for the Sentinel. And I think they should have realized that. They definitely should have realized that these teams smoked up. Nova would have gave it off if the blocking Wolves did not give it off. But again, Sentinel says, okay, that's fine. We will push top with our Furion. And this is exactly what I mean by positional play. Like, you know, if you go for a team fight with the Roche, it says, okay, we'll wait it out. We'll kind of both stand around so no one get the Roche. And we'll have Furion push top. And if a team fight breaks out, we're going to have a Furion TP back in. And this is why Furion's just such a good hero. It looks like he's going to be backstabbing. Oh, indeed, he will going to go on a Shaker, prevent that Blink Dagger uses. Nicely done. Everyone preventing that Blink Dagger uses. Fissure going to be dropped. He's going to go down before using his ultimate. Looks like Furion did go down. Trading 1-for-1 is a good trade in my opinion, because they don't have a big AoE team fight. Looks like 4-Stab was waiting by the Furion to teleport up. We have time-lapse going out. But look, can he make it out? No, we cannot. Sprout. Oh my goodness. Lycanthrope just doing so much more work. Nicely team fight being done there, but I'll talk about why that was a nice team fight at the end of it. We do have one buyback from the Weaver. ZSMJ trying to defend bot right now. And the reason that team fight was just beautifully played for the Sentinel lineup, they used the Lycan Wolf, they sent them in invisibly, found the Shaker, and made sure he never got the blink off. And just to be safe, gonna send in a Furion as well. Pop the Necro Book on the back line of things. Get a Sprout off. Get a couple of right clicks. And guess what? He died. No problem. Buy back, TP back. And again, that's another annoying aspect of Furion play. As we see Hex already on Chan right now. We have 1 4-Staff out, but looks like Weaver's going to go right back in. Going to try to go on Furion. Furion's going to go down one again for sure. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast is going to hit. Shaker comes in with a nice Echo Slam. And they're going to get a couple kills. Looks like Lit's going to try to TP out. Indeed, he will. Yeah, no, Shatter is going to do the job there. And let's see if the... Ooh, Shaco shot. Chuan winning the game. Winning. Double kill, and then they picked up by YF, and this is the game. They're gonna go in with the Aegis. Did they even claim the Aegis? No, they even yeah, they just forget about Roche. Gonna go for the win right now. Shaker in position to slow down the push a little bit right now. Kofi gonna be dropped, but Wolfie says don't care. Gonna go in, right click Raxus. The bot one or the top one is gonna be down right after. Another good thing about Furion, if you're ever pushing like this, you be sure that all 3 waves are pushed as well, because that's exactly what Graph of Nature does. And really, to me, I think this game showcased by iG.Y, this is how you play Furion. You go for the aggressive ganks at the mid game. Early game, not too sure. I mean, early game, a lot of teams would really disagree. You know, oh, you should put Furion in the jungle because you get a lot of fast XP that way. But mid game, this is the way to play Furion. Go for the ganks. Go for pushing the lanes. Good creep equilibrium, and safer buyback. And if you die, you can TP right back in the team fight. And just do a lot of work. I mean, I know Chuan did a lot of stuff here, and Lycanthrope definitely did a lot. But to me, I think it's definitely the Clockwork and Furion that won them the game. Just really decent ganks. You can see that 12 assists, 11 assists, and maybe I'm just putting too much love on supports because I am a support as well. But I mean, this is just efficient. They have a lot of depths though. But I mean, look at their items. Django, excuse me, not Django. Neko 3, Django on the clock, going for pipe. Just really overall very efficient play on the Sentinel support side. And Scourge, despite farming really decently, which is not enough, I don't know where they went wrong. In terms of picks, they have enough AoE to kind of stop push. They have Fissure, they have Nova, they have Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast. But you can see, maybe that was just not enough. Maybe I'm wrong. Because the Sentinel just kind of just ran straight in. Time and time after again, they just kind of charged in like bulldozers. And Scourge can't handle. So I guess going back to what I said earlier in the lineup, and during the pick phase, or during the pick and ban analysis, because there was no pick phase, was Sentinel could win this game only if they play aggressive. And they did. They played so aggressive. They went for ganks when they could. They went for push when they could. And they really know when they could go for a push. They went for a push even sometimes when I think they couldn't. But again, showing some really nice control aggression. Again, I want to point out in this team fight there, where they chased in so deep, but they didn't lose any single hero. They have good control on the TP scroll. Weaver was not able to get any kill. In fact, they got 2 kills there. They got a tower kill as well. So right now, iG.Y, this game is showing like they're playing some top-notch though. And going into WDC group stages, or if they make it out to the group stage, looking really strong, man. Looking really strong. We do have AC finish on the Lycanthrope Bashers up as well. Of course, I haven't really been checking too much item progression, but I didn't think it was too important this game. It came down to hero position in my opinion. Shaker, again, he was able to get his dagger off, and he got a really nice Echo Slam. And you could just, that was just an example of why Scourge, or why Sentinel in that team fight over here in the mid lane team fight, we're sending the Wolves on a Shaker was a huge thing. Because if you don't send the Shaker, if you don't keep the Shaker from blinking, he will just decimate the team fight. So, but right now, even if Shaker gets a 5-man Echo, it might not be enough. Because the Sentinel is just really tanky at this point right now. And this Crystal Maiden gotta be really careful. Scourge trying to defend this bot for one last chance. Sentinel not really pushing it. Ooh, Axe Stick already finished on the Clockwork for a lot more tanking potential. And here we go, Clockwork looking for a hook. If they can find the Ancient Apparition, indeed they will. Where's the clock hooking? Where's the clock hooking? Nope, looks like they're gonna initiate right now, trying to pick off the Windrunner. Can they? It's a question. Sandy clips on him as well. He pops the mecha just in time. He is gonna be fine. And that was a good gamble coming from. Oh no, they did pick her off, but she did have the Aegis. And the reason that was a good pick off, if she didn't have the Aegis, was, well, she has the mecha, she has the Hex. If you can pick her off before the team fight starts, it's actually really big. And they did pick her off, so really nice move by LGD despite really being pressured down. Again, still on the back foot of things because top creep wave slowly pushing, mid creep wave slowly pushing, and against the Furion with 2 Raxes down, it's almost impossible. If I want to say it is impossible to push out. Weaver doesn't have a TP scroll, and if anyone clicking on the top lane right now to realize that, they could just go for just go run in if they want to do so. But it looks like they're going to turn back for now. Furion TP's back to buy an item. Does he have Hex finish? Nope. Furion does have 3,400 gold. He could TP right here and pick up his Hex immediately, or he could save or buyback. I wonder which one is the better choice here. I think considering that you're leading by 2 racks, you can just buy the Hex and try to finish the game. Or you say, well, we're leading by 2 racks. Let's just win a team fight. We don't really need an item anymore. Let's just win a team fight and just win the game. And the buyback will help them win that team fight. Not too sure which is the correct way to look at it, but to me it doesn't really matter. We're looking for Shaco. If he gets the Shaco, there's a Hex right now. There's a hook in. Weaver is going to be dead for sure. The question is, does he have buyback? He doesn't. Game's over. GG. But LG not going to take this one. Not going to lose this game without a fight, even though they pretty much have lost already. Tower down to 76 HP. Shaker really hiding himself nicely there. But these Wolves doing work. iG.Y take the tower. Maybe Furion's going to send a couple of Shurians to find. Nope, they're going to just push with Delusions because they can. Because they really can. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast is gonna hit. Shaker in position. Where's the Echo Slam? Nice Echo Slam on 2-0. Well, there's pretty nice chain slam, but no damage, no follow-up from his teammate, unfortunately. And that's gonna be end of the Shaker. Destroyer did go down to Clockwork as well. Shuriken Chain Frost, microing that Chain Frost, bouncing left and right. There's a Mega Creeps. And that's the game. Really, really nicely played. Not gonna take anything away from iG.Y. I mean, ZSMJ and the rest of the LGD squad play decently. They have really nice farm despite being there's so much pressure being placed upon them, but it just was not enough because YYF and his squad played beautiful aggression. The endgame score was 28-14. There was endless amount of ganks, pushes, and that's all she wrote. So this is all the group stage games I have claimed for WDC. After that, I'm going to be casting some quarterfinals, some semi-final matches as well. So do look forward to those as well. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. And as always, this is Luminous signing off. GG guys.